Hello, my name is Voya, not Voyo, and welcome to my deep guide. In today's video, we're going to be taking a first look and unboxing at the new Poke 2 collar from Onyx Boox. Alright, so here is the Poke 2 collar, which should be the same device as Poke 2, but this time with the collar panel. And in this unboxing, I'm going to be unboxing, of course, the device and the Poke 2 cover, which I got with it. So let's start with the device. The box itself is quite nice. You can see the image of the device and everything's fine. The only thing that's a little bit kind of odd is that, as you can see, everything is in Russian. And I ordered this from the official Onyx Boox site. But everything here, as you can see, clearly is written in Russian and no other language. So I find that a little bit weird, and I'm currently a little bit worried because I don't know if the device itself is gonna have an English language. I mean, it should because it's an Android 9, but you never know. So that's the only thing that I kind of find weird, and no, as far as I know, there weren't any other sources to buy this from because it was a limited run. Let's open up and see what we get. Alright, let's flip it open, I guess from here. Yep. Whee! So we have a nice cover in here. This looks okay. So this is the device itself. We get again, a micro USB cable, but then again, the original Poke 2 also was micro USB, so I guess that's something that makes sense. This opens up and then we get warranty card, and actually a full-on dedicated printed user manual, unfortunately only in Russian. Short info here, it's basically the exact same specifications as the Poke 2. So we have 2 GB of RAM, we have an 8-core 2 GHz CPU, we have 32 GB of storage space, non-expandable micro USB connectivity, Android 9, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, supporting a bunch of formats and the same type of stuff. Now we have 6.8 millimeters. I think that's a little bit thicker, tiny little bit thicker than the original one. I'm not sure. I think the original one was 6.4. So maybe this is a little bit thicker. 150 grams, similar weight. And we have the biggest one is the display, which has 1072 by 1448 resolution. I'm not entirely sure if this is smaller resolution than Poke 2. I'll have to check when I do actually the review itself. And yeah, we have a 15 milliamp battery here. So very similar type of setup. It's a nice thing that we actually get a user manual, but I wish it was in English because this, as it is on Russian, that my Russian is extremely limited. Now let's focus on the device itself. So we will slide it out, and there we go. Well, the screen is not flush, so it does not have a glass top like Poke 2 has, but it certainly does have a color screen. Now what I see here, I guess, is of course without the front light, and the colors are very, very pale. That's something that's definitely a first impression, but maybe, hopefully that improves with the front light. The device itself resembles the Poke 2 design, but yeah, the bezel, indented bezel, is something that I don't like, especially on a smaller format like that. So I hope when the non-test devices do get out, because this is basically like a test run, that I hope that they get the flush screen, because that works really, really good on the Poke 2, regular Poke 2. That being said, I'm actually surprised that the build quality is quite nice. On top it has actually the same power on button that the Poke 2 has. On the bottom we have the micro USB and the microphone. Nothing on the side, nothing on the other side, and the back is nice and clean, only with the legal stuff here and things like that. So it feels good in the hand, it really does feel good. The only gripe that I have is the bezel. I guess they had to do it. It is angled here, so it's not such a big problem, but it will be a little bit on a small format. These edges, maybe it's a personal preference, but I'm not too big of a fan on that. So yeah, the design looks good, the build quality is good, the plastic is not scratchy. It's that rubberized, nice, soft, quality feeling plastic, which is something that I actually didn't expect on basically a test run. So the contents of the Poke 2 color box are some documentation, surprisingly a printed user manual, which is very welcome, but it's in Russian, the device itself, and a micro USB cable. Alright, so let's do the first time startup and see how this screen looks like when it gets a front light, and if we do have a front light. That's also a question. I guess we'll see it fairly soon, because usually by this time the front light does come up, and no, nothing that I notice, because yeah, the initial screen seemed that it has very pale colors and very low contrast. So I'm just wondering, yeah, let's see how that actually looks. Switch to English. Yes, take all of my data. Automatically set date and time. Yes. And yeah, here we go. He started up. Now let's see, there's some test books here, but I guess they are, nope, they're all in Russian. And I don't have any color ones here. I'm gonna have to find something in color, and let's try and first go online. Alright, so here we are in a normal site, a news site, and then when the images are not moving, we have a normal looking type of thing. And I have to say, this is quite a surprising and a refreshing thing to see, to actually have an e-ink reader with colors. And yeah, the colors are a little bit pale, but it's okay. I mean, I don't really mind it. It's perfectly readable and perfectly fine. Now I'm gonna have to test this, of course, on the sunlight and the outdoors and all that kind of stuff to actually kind of see how that works. But yeah, the first impression is that this definitely works. And as before, the raw power of the device really pays off, because you can see that I can very comfortably zoom in and scroll over the image and all this kind of stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I am in normal mode. So maybe he's automatically switching between modes while doing these kind of things. Yeah, so I think he was actually switching to an A2 mode when using the app itself. Yeah, he is definitely switching between modes, and then he's gonna refresh, I guess. Yeah, and then refreshes a little bit when it's done. However, there we go. We have an e-ink, color e-ink display, and the first impressions are interesting. I am definitely interested in this, and I am not used to seeing it as a color e-ink device. I want to spend more time with the device to actually see what's it like when using it, and yeah, definitely when reading comic books, because this is basically mainly what you would want to use this for, and for some other things as well. Yeah, first impressions are quite interesting. Now let's unbox the Poke 2 cover and put it in and see how the whole package looks like. Okay, so it is a different material, same type of stuff, you stick it in, weight is fine, flips around very nice, and it's same build quality. I think it's pretty much all very similar, except that the color itself is different. So let's stick the device in. Oh, here is actually what the Poke 2 is all about. This is the sleep screen, and this is how a comic book would look like. So I think that the color combination is quite nice, and I think it's going to work really good on comic books, because I really like what I see here. But let's put it in the cover and see how the whole thing looks like and wrap up the video. Let's now carefully align the device with the edges here and there and here, and then stick it. There we go. So now it's stuck on and I can flip it closed. Very nice package as before, a little bit thicker than the Poke 2, regular Poke 2, but still very manageable and not bricky. So it flips open very nicely. Of course, auto open. It has auto wake up, and I guess it has auto sleep. Let's see. Yes, it does. That's kind of cool because I like the touch that by default they've added that every of the sleep screens is actually a different color screen, so you can quite quickly see this. And one thing that I see that's definitely new, on Poke 2 and every other one, we had like 3 different sleep screens. Here we have 1, 2, and it looks pretty good. I mean, this looks pretty good to me. So I really like how this looks so far. First impressions are pretty sweet. So yeah, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sleep screens. So that's most definitely interesting, and I really like the way the color looks. Maybe a little bit pale, but we'll see. So for now, Poke 2 color, first impressions. So that was certainly interesting for me. This little guy is quite an interesting thing. I'm not a fan of the hardware design. As I said, I definitely don't like the edges there, but as this is just simply unboxing and first impressions, now I'm going to be able to spend some time with the Poke 2 color, and I'm going to start using it properly, like reading comic books and stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, basically I want to spend time with the device and see what's it like in real life use, and then I'm going to be able to bring you the in-depth review and guide of the Onyx Boox Poke 2 color, and then tell you guys what it's like as a device. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!